Good afternoon, guys. So, hope you all are doing good. So, we'll start the lesson, right? So, the lesson will be conducted 1.5 hours, 2 sessions, right? So, after 1.5 hours time, I will give you a break. So, the first session will be uploaded to the system separately. And soon after the break, the second session also will be uploaded to the system website as a session number 2. So 1.5 hours, please remember 1.5 hours into 2, there would be 2 sessions for today's lesson. So guys, hope you all can remember what we have discussed last week. We just started price theory, right? As I already explained to you. So in this lesson, we will discuss 4 major parts. Price theory, right? First one is demand and elasticity of demand. Second one is supply and elasticity of supply. Third one, equilibrium. Fourth one, government intervention to the market. So last week we started demand and elasticity of demand. So let me briefly go through what we have discussed last week, right? First of all, we discussed the definition for demand. The definition for demand. Demand is a quantity of commodity that the consumers will buy at different prices. I explained to you, demand is a future condition, whereas you have not already brought, it's a plan. So we discussed the demand is completely depends on consumers' desire. But in economics we discuss, right, effective demand, which will be amalgamated with your purchasing power, right? So effective demand, basically 2 conditions to be satisfied. First one is your desire. Second one is your purchasing power, right? Purchasing power. Then friends, I hope you all can remember, we discussed determinants of demand. Right? So we discussed 5 demand determinants called price, Second one, price of the other products, PY. Here we known as PX, own price. Consumers' income. Income, to illustrate income, we use the word Y. And taste, finally, other factors. I hope you all can remember, under other factors, we discussed so many other factors. If I am not mistaken, we studied 7 or 8 other factors. Population, number of consumers available in the market, imitation, advertising, cultural issues, cultural situations. I hope you all can remember. Then we discussed law of demand. Law of demand. Law of demand. We studied the inverse relationship in between price and the quantity demand. The inverse relationship between price and the quantity demand we call law of demand, right? So the reason for law of demand, I hope you all can remember, we studied, first one is substitution effect or substitute effect. Next one, income effect. I gave a note for these two, and we discussed law of demand. Then finally we discussed changes in quantity demand and changes in demand. Changes in quantity demand and changes in demand. I explained to you, out of the demand determinants, price of the other products, right? Other products, substitutes and complements. Income, taste, other factors. Out of the demand determinants, out of 5 demand determinants, if price changes, quantity demand changes. Other than the price of own product, other factors changes results to changes in demand. Changes in demand. I explained to you changes in quantity demand we represent with the use of a graph. What will happen? The point move up or down along the same demand curve. The curve, demand curve doesn't shift to right or left. The point move up or point move down along the same demand curve. Right? Again, if demand changes, what will happen? The demand curve shifts accordingly. The demand curve shifts accordingly. If the demand increases, what will happen? The demand curve shift to right as D1 if this is D0. If the demand reduces, what will happen? The demand curve shift to left. Demand curve shift to left. Right? Demand curve shift to left. So basically these are the stuff we discussed last week. Right? In detail we went through this stuff. So today I'm going to start the new lesson where we have stopped. If you just go through the book, the page number Page number 25. Page number 25. Let me clean the board. Right. Done. Page number 25, individual demand and market demand. Individual demand and market demand. Just go through. Individual demand is the quantity of good that a single consumer in the market is willing to buy at different market prices. Please highlight single consumer willing to buy. Single consumer willing to buy. Single consumer willing to buy. Market demand is the sum of quantities demanded by all the consumers in the market at different market prices. Again highlight sum of quantities demanded by all the consumers in the market, right? All the consumers in the market. Guys, basically it's very simple. Individual demand means you are individual. What is the quantity demand? What is the quantity you request as an individual customer? That is your individual demand. Market demand means at a particular price, all the consumers available in the market, what is the demand? Right? We'll take an example, right? Just assume there are two individuals available in the market called Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A and Mr. B. Right? Just assume quantity demand at rupees 5, Mr. A 100, Mr. B 200. When price increases to say 10, quantity demand reduces. Mr. A demands 75, right? 75. B demands 100. 100. Individual demand is Mr. A's demand. Look here. At rupees 5, Mr. A's individual personal demand is quantity 100. When price increases from 5 to 10, Mr. A demands individually 75 units. So this is individual demand of A. At the same time, my dear friends, look at B. B as an individual. At rupees 5, Mr. B will demand 200 individually, individual demand. At rupees 10, Mr. B individually demands 100 units. That is B's individual demand. So what is the market demand then? Market demand is the sum of the quantity demand demanded by the entire consumers available in the market. Entire consumers demand request in the market. At this situation, we just assume there are only two customers available in the market, customer A and customer B. Right? Customer A and customer B. So then the market demand is the horizontal summation of the individual demand. You know horizontal summation? Horizontal summation. This is horizontal. This is vertical. Right? This is horizontal. So horizontal summation of individual demand. 100 plus 200, market demand is 300. at rupees 5. At rupees 5. The market demand for at rupees 10 is again horizontal summation of individual A and B. 75 plus 100, 175. This is individual demand and market demand. So there is an example in the book. Please go through. Right? Please go through. The price is 5, 10, 15 and 20. I am referring the page number 25. In the middle, the graph, table available. There are individual customers called A, B, C and D. Look at A's individual demand, 100, 80, 60 and 40. B's individual demand, 200, 175, 150, 125. C so on, D so on. You are supposed to fill the blank, the market demand at rupees 5. So what do you have to do? You have to get the horizontal summation of at rupees 5 A plus B plus C plus D. That means 100 plus 200 plus 50 plus 300, right? 300. So 350, 650 is the market demand for price 5. So likewise, can you just fill the blanks immediately? Right? Immediately. Take out your calculators and fill the blanks. 100 plus 200 plus 50 plus 300, 650. Second one, 80 plus 175 plus 40 plus 250. It's 545. 545. Third one at rupees 15, just add 60, 150, 30, 200. The sum is 440. 440. At rupees 20, 40 plus 125 plus 20 plus 150, it's 335. 335. Again, I am repeating. The market demand at rupees 5 is 650. The market demand at rupees 10 is 545. The market demand at rupees 15, 440. The market demand at rupees 20, it's 335. 335. So that is the end of individual demand and market demand. Individual demand and market demand. So we'll move to the next topic, subtopic, demand function. Demand function. Demand function. Page number 25, latter part. The latter part. Demand function. The demand function is the presentation of the relationship between demand and the factors affecting to the demand in the form of mathematical equation. In the form of mathematical equation. Right. In the form of mathematical equation. We'll just go through. Let me clean the board. Right. Demand function. Demand function. Demand function. Right? Forget about the word first of all demand. Forget about the word first of all demand. A function you have already studied when you are at grade 10 or 9, grade 11. Function. Function is a relationship between two variables, right? Y, just say as an example, say y equals mx plus c. We'll put some figures, we'll substitute some figures to this function. Say y equals 5x plus 3. This function explains the relationship in between y and x, right? Y and x. When the value of x changes, the value of y changes. We'll take a simple example. Just assume the value of x is 2. Just assume the value of x is 2. What will happen? Y equals 5 multiplied by 2 plus 3. 10, 13. Y is 13. When x is 2, y is 13. So what will happen when x equals to 3? Look here. 5 multiplied by 3, 15. 15 plus 3, 18. Y equals to 18. Look here. Very simple. When the value of x changes, the value of y changes. Look at here. There are two variables. Relationship between x and y. When x changes, y automatically changes. This is a function. Right? X changes independently based on the value of x. Y value changes. So then we can recognize x as an independent variable. Independent variable. Y we can recognize as dependent variable. Dependent variable. Dependent variable. Right? So simple example. Son and father. Father, independent variable. Son, dependent variable. Student and teacher. Based on the teacher's instructions, student act on. So then, student, dependent variable, teacher, independent variable. Now we'll move to what do you mean by demand equation. Demand equation. Demand equation explains the relationship in between quantity demand and the factors that affects to the demand. Price, price of the other products, income, taste and other factors. Other factors. Right? When price changes, quantity demand changes. When price of the other products changes, quantity demand changes. When income changes, quantity demand changes. right? And so on. So then we can recognize based on the demand determinant, no, quantity demand changes. So we can recognize demand determinant are the independent variable, right? Based on the demand determinant, quantity demand changes. So quantity demand is the dependent variable of the demand function. In addition to these two changes, right, in demand function, it is called demand, the quantity demand is a function, F, function of, say, demand determinants. Function means changes. You know, demand determinants are changes. So changes of demand determinants determine the quantity demand. Hope you can understand the relationship. Function means changing, right? Changing. Changes of demand determinants determine the quantity demand. So this is the relationship in between quantity demand and demand determinants. You can rearrange this algebraic formula. QD equals function of, instead of price of the other products, income and taste and other factors, you can just write, we already studied this as demand determinants. Demand determinants, right? Demand determinants. Just go through, please. Write this down. Write this down. The next subtopic is demand equation. For the demand equation, note is not available, right? You have to write this down, right? Our next topic is demand equation. Demand equation. Demand equation is QD equals A minus BP. A minus BP. Right? A minus BP. Quantity demand and price, you already know. Right? Quantity demand, QD represents quantity demand, P represents price. You already know the law of demand, the inverse relationship in between price and the quantity demand. Right? Inverse means negative relationship. When price increases, quantity demand decreases. When price decreases, quantity demand increases, right? So negative relationship, law of demand represent here the negative sign, negative sign, negative sign, right? So what you don't know here is what is A and what is B. What is A and what is B, right? B is the slope of the demand curve. Slope of the demand curve. Slope of the demand curve, right? If you just consider in mathematics, right? In mathematics, how do we calculate the slope? Delta y divided by delta x. If you have a graph like this, right? If you have a graph like this, say y and x, right? Y and x. How do you calculate the slope? Delta y divided by delta x. So delta y divided by delta x, right? So at the same time, when it comes to the demand curve, slope will be calculated by the same way. By the same way, right? So in mathematics, right? In mathematics, the slope is, say, delta y divided by delta x, no? We'll take a mathematical example, y equals 5x. Y is dependent variable, x is independent variable. Independent variable. Again, you can rearrange the slope formula, right? Dependent variable divided by independent variable. Independent variable. Look at this. This is the demand curve. Price, quantity demand. According to the slope formula, it's dependent variable divided by independent variable. This is the demand curve, right? Dependent variable is according to demand, QD equals function of P. Price is the independent variable, QD is the dependent variable. QD is the dependent variable. So here dependent variable QD, delta QD, slope. Independent variable delta P. So this is the slope of the demand curve. Delta QD divided by delta P. So how do you find the B? It's delta QD divided by delta P. Delta P. How do you find the B? Is delta QD divided by delta P. Right? Delta QD divided by delta P. So then we'll see what do we mean by A. A. What is A? A is the quantity demand when price equals to 0. When price equals to 0. In other words, when price equals to 0 means at no price, no. When the price is not available, we used to demand our maximum demand. So in other words, I can say A is the maximum quantity demand. Two ways. Either you can say theoretically A is the quantity demand when price equals to 0. On the other hand, I can say when price equals to 0, I can demand my maximum quantity. So then I can rearrange my explanation. A is my maximum quantity demand. A is my maximum quantity demand. Right? A is my maximum quantity demand. Another thing, guys, look here. The value of B, as I already explained, always negative. Because, look, when the, based on the quantity demand, law of demand, when price increases, quantity demand decreases. When price decreases, quantity demand increases. Always one variable increase, the other variable decrease. Net impact, positive divided by negative, negative divided by positive, negative divided by positive also negative, positive divided by negative also answer negative. So always remember, the coefficient of B is negative just because of law of demand. Law of demand. Right? So remember the demand equation is QD equals to A minus BP, QD equals to A minus BP. QD represents quantity demand, P represents price, B represents the slope of the demand curve, whereas we can calculate the slope by dividing quantity difference by price. In other words, delta QD divided by delta P. B answer is always negative. A, quantity demand when price equals to 0. In other words, maximum quantity demand. Maximum quantity demand. Right? Maximum quantity demand. Now, we'll take few examples and see how we develop a demand equation. Right? There are two steps. First step number 1. First, calculate B. Step 2, calculate A. Step 3, write the equation by only showing A and B. We'll take a simple example. Just go back to the page number 25. Individual and market demand example. Individual and market demand example. In that example, there is a table, no? Price 5, 10, 15 and 20. And individual A, individual B, individual C and individual D. Right? We'll take A and see how we develop demand equation for A, individual A, right? Individual A. This is my table, no? Price A, B, C, D, market. Price 5, price 10. A's demand 180. 180. B's demand 200 and 175. 200 and 175. C 30 and 40. Sorry, 50 and 40. 50, 40. 300, 250. 300 and 250. We already calculated the market demand. 100, 200, 300, 600, 650. Right? Next one, 80 plus, 40 plus, 5, 45, 250, 290, 370, 370, yes, 545, 120, 80 plus 40, 120, 250, 350, 370, 370, 470, yes, 545. Now we'll take individual A, individual B, individual C and D market separately and will develop demand curve for each individual. First, I will take individual A. My demand equation is QD equals to A minus BP. My first step calculate B. How do I calculate B? Delta QD divided by delta P. Delta QD divided by delta P. Delta QD here 20. Delta P is 5. So 20 divided by 5, my B is 44A. Next step, find A. How do I find A? I take QD equals A minus BP. This is my demand equation. I will take price P and quantity 100. Quantity demand 100. I don't know what is my A. I want to find out A. My B I already found. It's 4 multiplied by my price is 5. My price is 5. 100 equals A minus 20. 100 equals A minus 20. Minus 20 goes to this side. 120 equals A. 120 equals A. So, I found A, I found B for individual A. Now my last step is to find out, write the demand equation. QD equals A, I found 120 minus B, I found 4, it's 4P. This is my demand curve or demand equation for individual A. Individual A. Individual A. Likewise, we'll do another example. We'll take individual B. Right? Please find out what is demand equation. Before I do, my B, delta QD divided by delta P. Delta QD 25 divided by delta P is 5. Delta P difference 8, 10 minus 5 is 5. 25 divided by 5 is my answer 5. My B is 5. My B is 5. My B is 5. Right? My B is 5. Now find out A. QD 200. I don't know what is my A. Minus B is 5 already found just now multiplied by 5. So 200 equals A minus 25. 225 equals my A. So my B's quantity demand is QD. B is 225 minus 5P. 5P. Do it for C. Do it for C. C. Delta QD divided by delta P. Delta QD 10. Delta P 5. My B is 2. QD 50. I don't know A. B is 2 multiplied by 5, right? 50 equals A minus 10. 60 is my A. So QD C is 60 minus 2P. 60 minus 2P. Right? Do it for D. Do it for D. D. Hurry up. D. Delta Q 50. 50. Delta P 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. I want to find out now my A, my D, quantity demand is 300, A I don't know, B I just found 10 multiplied by 5, right? So here 300, A minus 10 into 5, 50, 350 equals my A. So my D is 350 equals 10 P. Do the same for market. Do the same for market. Right? Do the same for market. Do the same for market. Market 1. Delta QD. How much? Hundred and 105 divided by 5 is 21. 21. I want to find out my B. QD is 650 equals A minus 21 into 5. 650 equals A minus 5, 10. My A is 755. 755. So my market QD is 770, 755 minus 21P. 21P. But there is a shortcut to get market demand equation. How? Now you have already calculated individual demand equation. No? Just get the vertical summation of individual demand curves. You will get the market demand equation. You are not required to calculate delta Q divided by delta P and delta A. Nothing required. If you just add vertically the sum of individual demand equations, you will get market demand equation. Just cross check. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 2, 11. 11 plus 10 is 21. 21. 350 plus 60, 410. 410, 430, 530. 530 plus 225, 5, 5, 755. 755 is my A. Got it? Please go through demand equation. Right? Write this down. Yeah. So that's all about demand equation. Demand equation is QD equals A minus BP. A minus BP. A minus BP. How do you calculate B? B is slope delta Q divided by delta P. Delta Q divided by delta P. Right? Demand equation. B is always negative because there is an inverse relationship in between price and quantity demand. Next one. Exceptional demand. Exceptional demand. Exceptional demand. What do you mean by exceptional demand? First of all, what do you mean by the word of exceptional? What do you mean by exceptional? Exceptional situations are very rare, right? So just assume chartered business level, next September exam, first in order of merit, that particular individual student is an exceptional case, right? Who got all the prizes and he became the first in order of merit. So he is an exceptional case. Everybody can't become exceptional. So exceptional person is very rare. Right? Please understand. Exceptional people are very rare. So I can still remember when I was at the chartered class, right? So soon after the A-levels like you, right? I came to to do the chartered to the same place like IAS, right? Normally I be seated back rows. One day, unfortunately, I got little late. The lecturer requested me to come to front and be seated. So I came and be seated front, right? So there is a guy next to me, right? So the session was accounts, right? The session was accounts. The lecturer explains how to do the sums, how to do the adjustments to the financial statements, right? When I listen, the next person who was seated next to me, right? He's doing. By the time lecturer finishes his explanation, my colleague next to me, he has finished. Right? He has finished. By the time I use the ruler to draw the accounts. That particular individual who was seated next to me draw the lines without using the ruler. Right? Even better than me. I used to draw the lines with the use of ruler. But even without the ruler, the person who next to me drawn the rules. So I got to know I'm in a crucial situation because the person who has seated next to me will be a exceptional case. So the break is given. Again I went to back. Right? I explained to my colleagues, my friends, Machang, this kind of situation happened. Mara Porak were there next to me. So I explained the situation. Then one of my friends said, that person's name is Sampath. He was the island best at this particular year. So I got to know he is an exceptional case, Sampath. Right? In demand theory also, there are exceptional cases. How do you explain the law of demand? Exceptional demand. The law of demand is the inverse relationship in between the price and the quantity demand. No? Price and the quantity demand. That is the normal case. Exceptional cases are the instances where the relationship in between price and quantity demand is not negative. That means the relationship between the price and the quantity demand is positive. Those cases are very rare. If you got to know the relationship between the price and the quantity demand is positive, whereas law of demand, the theory of law of demand breaks, collapse, we identify those situations are exceptional demand. In economics, we identify 4 instances that law of demand breaks. Right? Page number 26. Just go through the note. Exceptional demand, put 3 stars. When there is a direct relationship, highlight direct relationship between price and the quantity demand, it's an exceptional demand. It means that the quantity demanded rises with the rise in the price and falls when the price falls. The demand curve slopes upwards from left to right. Highlight the demand curve slopes upward left to right. The demand curve slope upwards left to right. Guys, normal demand curve slope downwards, no? Law of demand negative. When price increases, quantity demand decreases, law of demand. So normal demand curve slopes downwards. But exceptional cases, demand relationship price and the quantity demand is positive, so then the demand curve slopes upwards. The instances write down with the use of red color pen. First one, given goods within brackets, inferior goods, close the bracket, purchased by low income earners, low income earners. Second one, goods in which the prices are expected to rise. The prices are expected to rise. Third one, goods which confer, C-O-N-F-E-R, goods which confer social distinction, D-I-S-T-I-N-C-T-I-O-N, social distinction. Within bracket write down, goods with a snob value, S-N-O-B, snob value. Last one, goods in which quality is judged by the price. Quality is judged by price. Quality is judged by the price. We'll take one by one and understand. First one, given goods. First of all, we'll try to identify what is a given good, right? In the real world, right, you can't identify a particular product as a given product. No, right? The product will be given when you compare with the product with the other product. Understand? So you can't identify this particular product as given. Understand? So the product will be given compared to the other product. Right? That is first thing. First one. Second one, given goods are consumed by most of the times very, very low income people, very poor people who don't have sufficient income to cover up their day-to-day expenses. Very, very poor people, right? Very, very poor people. Let's take an example, right? To identify given goods, how given goods creates positive relationship in between price and the quantity demand, right? We'll take this example, my dear friends. Assume I am very poor. Not poor, very, very poor. Right? My breakfast will be chicken and bread. Don't ask questions again. If you are poor, how do you eat chicken? Try to understand, right? My breakfast is bread and chicken. Again, my lunch is bread and chicken. My dinner again, chicken and bread, same thing. I don't have any other additional income for me to consume other than bread and chicken. For that much I am poor. Understand? Breakfast, chicken and bread. Lunch, bread and chicken. Dinner, again, chicken and bread. I am that much poor. But remember, for me to satisfy myself, right? To satisfy myself, that means to fill my stomach. To satisfy myself, somehow I need to consume 6 pieces. Somehow I need to consume 6 pieces. I need to consume 6 pieces. Right? I need to consume 6 pieces. Just assume chicken price is 90. Bread price is 50. I need 6 pieces, no? I used to eat 3 pieces of chicken, 3 pieces of bread, altogether 6 pieces. Cost is 9 into 3, 270 plus 150, 370, 430 rupees. This is my income. 430 rupees. 420 rupees. This is my daily income, which is sufficient for me to eat chicken and bread, 3 pieces each. Morning, 1 piece of chicken, 1 piece of bread. Lunch, 1 piece of chicken, 1 piece of bread. Dinner, 1 piece of chicken, 1 piece of bread. Altogether 6 pieces. I am satisfied. My revenue is, for me to consume 1 piece of chicken, 1 piece of bread, 3 meals, I need 420 rupees. Now assume price of chicken, price of bread, both are increasing. What will happen? Chicken price will be increased to 100. Bread price increased to 55. 90 to 100 percentage is somewhere 11%. 50 to 55 percentage, exactly 10%. Both are increasing. Both are increasing. Now, I can't consume 6 pieces as I wish because price has gone up. Price has gone up. Now I need to alter my meal plan, the way that I can eat 6 pieces for me to satisfy myself, at the same time which equals to rupees 420. Right? How do I eat now? Right? I can't eat 3 pieces each right now because 3 into 100 into 3 is 300. 55 into 3 is 165. 300 plus 165 is 465. My revenue is not enough for me to satisfy 3 pieces of chicken and 3 pieces of bread. Now I need to arrange myself somehow to eat 6 pieces for me to satisfy myself, along with it tallies to my daily revenue, which is 420. What do? I alter my meal plan like this. How? I eat 2 pieces of chicken, which is 200, plus 55 into 4, 220 rupees. Altogether 200 and 220. Look here, 420. It tallies to my revenue. At the same time, 2 pieces, 4 pieces already, 6 pieces. 6 pieces. Now I can satisfy myself with the use of same 420 rupees, which my daily income. But look at what happened here. Price increase from 50 to 55. Price increase. But just see what happened to the quantity demand. Quantity demand also increases from 3 to 4. QD also increases. Price increases, quantity demand also increases. Relationship is positive. Demand is exceptional. Understand? Given goods. Given goods. This is the first one. Second one. The goods in which prices are expected to rise. Last week also we discussed under the other factors, right? You know, this is a very best example. Due to the corona outbreak these days, assuming the prices of petrol, prices of the essential products will be increases next week, what do? People will try to buy more today, assuming the prices will be increases tomorrow. Look here, prices also increases. On the other hand, quantity demand also increases. Forget about the corona. We don't like corona now. Take a simple example. Keeping this in the board. Right? Assume your wedding is somewhere in August. Your wedding is somewhere in August, right? You want to buy a jewelry, gold jewelry. You check the prices in March. It's 60,000 per pound. You just check the price of April. The price is 65,000. 65,000. You don't buy. You want to further monitor. In the month of May, what will happen? The price is 70,000. You think, my God, if I wait further, what will happen by the till the time August, the gold pound will be somewhere 90,000. Better I should buy right now. Look here. Price increases 60 to 70. Quantity demand also increases from 0 to 1. Price increases. At the same time, quantity demand also increases. P increases. QD increases. Relationship is positive. Exceptional. Exceptional. Right? Exceptional. Third one. Right? Third one, goods which confer the social distinction. Friends, we use certain goods, right? And with those products, we try to expose our social distinction to the others, right? Especially ladies try to expose, say, their social distinction by wearing, gold, right? Gold, diamond, right? So if I can recognize you are wearing a diamond necklace, so I might think you might be a multimillionaire, right? So that diamond necklace help you to expose your social distinction to me, or else to the general public. Ladies, right? Gold, handbags, certain costumes, expensive costumes, they used. Gentlemen, they don't wear golds, but they use what? Yes, wristwatches, wristwatch, vehicle, to expose their social distinction. Certain people, they use Mercedes, BMW vehicles for them to expose themselves to the general public. We think the person who might using a Mercedes Benz will be a multimillionaire. A person who drives a Range Rover would be a multimillionaire. We think like that. Certain expensive vehicles like Ferrari, if I can drive a Ferrari, the Ferrari brand, it's very expensive. Normal person like me and you can't buy a Ferrari. If I have a Ferrari, okay, I expose myself to general public. Who am I, right? So they use that particular product for them to expose their social distinction. The purpose is expose the social distinction. I like that particular product price increases day by day. Why? As far as price increases in that particular product, what will happen? I can distinct my social distinction. I can confirm my social distinction more and more. Relationship is positive. What will happen? Exceptional demand. Last one, goods in which the quality is judged by the price. Right? We'll take a simple example. Let's take three. I'm on the way to my class, right? I want to buy a marker pen. I just stop in a stationery shop. I inquire the prices of, these marker pens. The sales boy says, sir, this marker pen, 50 rupees. The second marker pen, 150 rupees. Third marker pen, 600 rupees. Okay. Then I ask, what is the difference? What is this 50th one? Why it is 50? Sir, this is a Chinese pen. You can't refill this. The maximum lifetime of this pen is 1 week. If you write today, this week, today and tomorrow, you can't use this pen for next week. You have to dispose this and buy a new one. Okay. I think, Apu, so every day when I come to the class, I have to go to the stationery shop and buy a marker pen. That's not suit for me. That option is out. This option is out. Then I ask, what is this 150 rupees pen? He says, sir, again, this is a Chinese pen, but you can refill this pen. Right? Lifetime is somewhere 3 months. By the time when you go to the class, today you can write, today and tomorrow. By the time if you want to use this pen for next week, you have to refill this pen and you can reuse this pen for 3 months period of time. I think this option, okay, better, 150 rupees refillable pen, fine. But I think before I come to the class, every weekend, I have to refill this pen. So refilling is, it's very difficult for me. By the time if I just miss refilling, what will happen? It will overflow sometimes. If you overfill, by the time when I open the pen, what will happen? The ink will go here and there. Pen 150, denim 2000. What will happen? I don't like this option because refilling, it doesn't help for me. Then I ask third one. What is the specialty of this third pen? The salesperson might say, sir, this is a German pen. Okay, German pen, my God. What is the specialty of this pen? Sir, we give a warranty for this pen is 1 year. Warranty period 1 year. Without refilling this pen, you can write non-stop. You can use this pen for a 1 year period of time, or else 1.5 years period of time. My God, you don't want to refill? German pen, warranty for 1 year? That suits for me. I don't want a pen for dispose by 1 week. I don't like to refill. This is the best option for me. The third pen is judged. I myself judge this pen. Quality. Quality. I'm not a person, right? I'm not a cost conscious person. I am a quality conscious person, right? So I judge the pen's quality by price. I think 600 rupees pen quality is higher. I buy this pen. Understand? So look here. 50 rupees, 150 rupees, 600 rupees, price increases. 50 rupees pen I don't buy. 150 rupees I don't buy. Third one, 600 rupees pen I buy. Price increases, quantity demand also increases. Relationship is positive, exceptional. Understand? Exceptional. So those are the 4 instances whereas exceptional demand happens. First one, given goods. This part is very important. Exceptional demand. First one, given goods. Second one, the goods, the prices will be expected to rise. Third one, the goods which confer the social distinction. Fourth one is the quality of the product is judged by the price. Please go through. After the small break, we will start the elasticity of demand.